Are you noticing your memory slipping? Forgetting why you walked into a room or where you left your keys? Stop blaming it on your age. The truth is, your brain isn't aging, it's starving. Every single night, silent oxidative stress destroys thousands of your brain cells simply because your brain lacks the right protective nutrients before bed. But you can stop this. Today, I'll reveal 3 common fruits sitting in your kitchen right now that actively repair your brain cells and restore your memory while you sleep. And make sure to stick around for fruit number 1. It's the absolute last thing you'd expect to be a nighttime neurological lifesaver. For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that cognitive decline is just an unavoidable tragedy of getting older. We reluctantly accept the brain fog, the slower processing speed, and those deeply frustrating moments of forgetfulness. Most people think memory loss happens in some big dramatic way, like waking up one day and not recognizing your own home. But in reality, it starts much smaller. You forget where you parked the car. You read a paragraph in a book and forget it by the time you reach the very next page. It is subtle, it is terrifying, and for millions of people over 60, it is happening every single night. But why does this happen at night? When you finally close your eyes to sleep, your brain is supposed to enter a deep, restorative repair cycle to clean out daily metabolic waste. However, without the right antioxidants and vitamins actively circulating in your bloodstream, free radicals accumulate instead. This is the silent enemy. These unstable molecules literally rust your neurons from the inside out, eroding the protective myelin sheath and disrupting the vital communication pathways that form your memories. This isn't a problem of your brain getting too old. It is a critical nutritional deficiency happening at the most important time of day, right before your head hits the pillow. The incredibly good news is that you don't need to rely on expensive prescription pills, complicated supplements, or exhausting mental training games to fix this. The solution is entirely natural and already waiting in your local grocery store. By eating 3 specific, everyday fruits at the precise time in the evening, you can feed your brain the exact compounds it needs to flush out toxins, rebuild damaged synapses, and fiercely protect your long-term independence. So how do we stop this silent nighttime damage and start repairing our minds tonight? Let's dive right in and start with a fruit that acts like an impenetrable shield for your delicate brain tissue. Have you ever woken up feeling like your mind is just a little bit rusty? Your thoughts seem to move slower, and it takes immense effort just to focus on a simple morning task. I need you to understand something crucial. Your brain isn't fading simply because of your age. It is quite literally rusting. At a microscopic level, every single thought, memory, and decision you make during the day creates oxidative waste. If that waste isn't cleared out during the night, it builds up and silently damages your neurons. This is exactly where our third fruit comes in. Oranges. Often dismissed as just a simple remedy for the common cold, oranges are actually one of the most powerful neurological shields available to us, especially for seniors. Your brain holds the highest concentration of vitamin C in your entire body, but here is the problem. It cannot store it. This means that even a single night without enough vitamin C leaves your brain completely vulnerable to oxidative stress. Vitamin C is a potent antioxidant that fortifies the blood-brain barrier, preventing inflammatory toxins and pathogens from reaching your delicate neural circuits. More importantly, it is absolutely essential for the synthesis of dopamine and norepinephrine, the key neurotransmitters directly responsible for your motivation, alertness, and mental clarity. Without adequate vitamin C, these chemical pathways begin to slow down dramatically, leading to fatigue, fogginess, and poor short-term memory. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that seniors with higher vitamin C intake scored significantly better on cognitive tests, specifically demonstrating faster processing speeds and a much sharper attention span. I have seen this transformation firsthand. Take Sarah, a lovely woman in our community who struggled terribly with evening mental fatigue and morning brain fog. She felt like she was losing her edge, constantly forgetting names and losing track of conversations after dinner. I suggested she start eating orange slices before her evening wind down. After just 10 days, she reached out to me and said, "I wake up thinking clearly again. It's like someone finally cleaned the dirty windows in my head." For Sarah, it wasn't a miracle. It was just giving her brain the exact biological tools it was crying out for. But before you rush to your fridge, I must give you a very serious warning. Do not drink processed, store-bought orange juice. Those packaged juices are entirely stripped of their natural fiber and loaded with concentrated sugar, which will spike your blood glucose, trigger widespread inflammation, and completely ruin your sleep quality. You must eat the fresh, whole fruit. And here is a crucial tip. Do not peel away that white, stringy layer beneath the skin. That white pith is packed with hesperidin, a vital flavonoid that has been shown to increase cerebral blood flow. It delivers oxygen right to your active neurons while your brain is deep in its nighttime clearance phase, the process that flushes out the dangerous waste associated with neurodegeneration. To replicate these benefits, eat half to one whole fresh orange roughly 90 minutes before your bedtime. As always, if you suffer from severe acid reflux or take medications that interact with citrus, please consult your doctor before making this a nightly habit. So, oranges act as your brain's defensive shield, keeping the rust out. But what if you need to go deeper? What if you need a garbage disposal machine that not only cleans out the root of the cellular waste, but actually helps grow brand new brain cells from your gut up? You won't want to miss fruit number 2. If oranges serve as your brain's defensive shield, apples are the deep cleaning engine required to restore it. Have you ever been in the middle of a sentence only to struggle to find the right word? You feel like it is right there on the tip of your tongue, but it remains frustratingly out of reach. Many seniors mistakenly believe this mental sluggishness is simply a natural, unavoidable symptom of old age. It is not. It is often the direct result of metabolic waste that has not been properly swept away, causing silent chronic inflammation within your hippocampus, the precise center of your brain responsible for memory consolidation and learning. The familiar, humble apple hides an uncommon and incredibly powerful secret to reversing this exact problem. Directly beneath their shiny skin, apples are loaded with quercetin. This is a potent, naturally occurring antioxidant that acts as a fierce neuroprotective shield, actively reducing that damaging inflammation in your memory center. When the inflammation subsides, your brain finally has the space to breathe, repair, and function at its optimal speed. But the true magic of the apple does not just happen in your head, it actually begins in your gut. Apples are densely packed with pectin, a highly specific type of soluble fiber. When you eat an apple, this fiber travels to your digestive tract and becomes the perfect food source for the beneficial bacteria living in your gut. These bacteria then produce special short-chain fatty acids that travel up through your bloodstream and cross the blood-brain barrier. Once they arrive in the brain, they trigger the release of a crucial protein called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as high-grade fertilizer for your brain. It is an absolutely vital component required for your brain to grow brand new neurons and efficiently lock new memories into your long-term storage. This is not just wishful thinking or a mere theory. The gut-brain axis is a proven biological communication system. In fact, clinical studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that older adults who consumed apples daily over a 12-week period experienced significantly improved executive function and verbal recall. They remembered words faster, processed complex information much clearer, and showed lowered markers of systemic inflammation. All of this happened simply because they gave their bodies the right raw materials to clean out the cellular trash. However, you must be extremely careful about how you eat them to reap these benefits. First and foremost, you must never peel your apple. The vast majority of the quercetin and brain-protecting polyphenols are found directly in the skin. Throwing away the peel literally means throwing away the medicine. To maximize your intake of these compounds, choose apples with deep red or dark skins, such as Gala, Fuji, or Red Delicious, as these varieties contain much higher concentrations of polyphenols compared to lighter ones. Second, the timing of when you eat it is absolutely critical. Do not eat an apple right as you are getting into bed. The high fiber content requires time to digest, and nighttime fermentation in your gut could cause bloating that disrupts your sleep cycle. The ideal window to eat your apple is about 1.5 to 2 hours before you go to sleep. And as always, if you have sensitive digestion or specific blood sugar concerns, please consult your doctor to ensure this routine fits your personal health needs. So you have protected the brain's borders with oranges, and you have sparked the growth of new cells with apples. But there is still one vital piece of the puzzle missing. Your brain still needs the raw chemical fuel to switch off anxiety, calm your racing thoughts, and drop you into that deep, restorative sleep phase where all this healing actually takes place. Are you ready to discover the ultimate nighttime neurotransmitter charger? Let's reveal fruit number one. If apples clean the brain and oranges shield it from rust, bananas are the ultimate tool to refill its empty neurochemical tank. Tell me, how often do you toss and turn at night, staring at the ceiling, only to wake up the next morning feeling completely scattered, unmotivated, and unable to hold on to a single complex thought? You might think your brain is simply exhausted from old age, or that poor sleep is just something you have to accept now. But what if your brain simply ran out of the vital chemical fuel it needs to shut down, repair, and organize your memories? Bananas may look incredibly humble and ordinary, but they deliver one of the most powerful and precise nutrient combinations for overnight brain support available in nature. Your brain relies heavily on specific neurotransmitters to fall asleep and process memories efficiently, namely serotonin and melatonin. But as we age, the natural production of these essential chemicals slows down significantly. That is exactly when names get fuzzy, conversations slip away, and mental clarity fades into frustration. Bananas step in to fix this because they are densely packed with vitamin B6, magnesium, and tryptophan. These three elements are the exact raw materials your nervous system desperately needs to synthesize those sleep and memory-protecting hormones. Magnesium, in particular, acts as a profound natural relaxant. It calms overactive, firing neurons and gently guides your brain into the deep wave sleep phase. And here's the crucial fact. Deep sleep is the absolute only time your brain can properly consolidate everything you learned, saw, and experienced that day. Let me share the story of Martin, a retired accountant who reached out to me a few months ago. He was terrified because he felt mentally slow and kept losing his train of thought every single morning. He truly thought he was losing his independence and that his cognitive decline was permanent. I told him to stop worrying about his age and simply start eating a banana 1 hour before bed for 2 solid weeks. I told him to skip the expensive supplements and major lifestyle overhauls. After the second week, he called me and said, "It is like my mind clicks in faster now. I don't lose my focus like I used to." For a senior like Martin, that is not just an improvement. That is taking your entire life back. To get these exact results, you need to follow a few simple but strict rules. First, eat 1 small to medium banana about 45 to 60 minutes before bed. Choose a banana with a few brown spots on the peel, as the ripening process actually increases the available magnesium and tryptophan for your body to absorb. Now, I know some of you might be highly concerned about sugar spikes, especially late at night. If that is you, simply pair the banana with a few raw almonds. The healthy fats will significantly slow down the absorption of sugar. And please, whatever you do, avoid eating your banana with heavy meals, dairy, or sugary desserts, as these can completely block the absorption of these vital brain-protecting compounds. Now that you understand exactly how oranges build a defensive shield for your brain, how apples sweep away the toxic oxidative waste, and how bananas refuel your crucial neurotransmitters, the next logical question is simple. How do you actually put all of this into practice? Knowledge alone does not rebuild your memory. Consistent, deliberate action does. Your brain thrives on a predictable routine, and it desperately needs a specific window of clean nutrients to properly repair itself overnight. Unlike your muscles or your cardiovascular system, the brain simply does not regenerate well in a chaotic biochemical environment. Here is your simple, step-by-step nightly brain recovery plan. First, about 2 hours before you plan to go to sleep, start with half of a fresh, whole orange. This specific timing is critical because it allows the vitamin C and hesperidin ample time to absorb into your bloodstream, travel up to your neural networks, and begin fortifying your blood-brain barrier. It naturally opens up the blood vessels, delivering oxygen and preparing your brain for its deep cleaning cycle. Next, at the 1.5-hour mark before bed, enjoy half of a red apple And remember my warning, absolutely do not peel the skin. Eating the apple at this exact time allows the pectin fiber to travel down to your digestive tract and begin its natural fermentation process. This perfectly times the release of that brain cell growing BDNF protein right as your body begins to physically wind down and relax for the evening. Finally, exactly 60 minutes before you turn out the lights, eat half of a ripe banana with a few brown spots. This is the ultimate finishing touch. It floods your nervous system with calming magnesium and serotonin-boosting tryptophan. This specific combination gently shuts down your racing thoughts, minimizes nighttime anxiety, and drops you into that deep, slow-wave sleep state where all memory consolidation actually takes place. You do not need to eat huge portions to get these benefits. Keep the serving small. Remember, you are feeding your brain, not trying to stuff your stomach. To make this habit sustainable and easy, prep your fruit in advance. Wash your apple and orange in the afternoon. And please do not turn this therapeutic medical routine into a dessert. No honey, no whipped cream, and completely avoid sugar-laced fruit smoothies. However, I must give you a very clear and serious medical warning. While these are entirely natural fruits, they do contain natural sugars and dietary fiber. If you are diabetic, strictly monitoring your blood glucose levels, or if you suffer from severe acid reflux or serious gastrointestinal issues, you must consult your primary care doctor before starting this or any new dietary routine. Your health profile is entirely unique, and a quick conversation with your physician ensures you can protect your brain safely and effectively without unintended side effects. I challenge you to try this simple nighttime fruit routine for the next 30 days. Keep a small journal on your nightstand and write down how clear your mind feels each morning when you wake up. Because if you have been forgetting things lately, or if your thoughts feel heavier and slower than they used to, I want you to remember something that people over 60 simply do not hear enough. You are not broken, you are not fading away, and you are certainly not powerless. You are simply gaining a brand new kind of control over your own cognitive health, a profound control that starts right in your very own kitchen. If you have made it this far into the video, I want to take a moment to tell you something incredibly important. Something that people over 60 simply do not hear enough. You are not broken. You are not fading. And your mind is not inevitably slipping away just because of your age. Yes, memory changes as we get older. Yes, the brain naturally slows down. But that is absolutely not the end of your story. What your brain desperately needs right now is not another expensive supplement bottle or a complicated new prescription. It needs rest, it needs specific clean nutrients, and it needs consistency. The very things that can successfully rebuild your memory and protect your neurons aren't locked behind a pharmacy counter. They are sitting right there in your kitchen. A fresh orange to shield your blood-brain barrier. A crisp apple to sweep away toxic oxidative waste. A ripe banana to recharge your vital sleep neurotransmitters. These are simple, familiar, and scientifically proven tools that protect your brain and help you wake up feeling clearer, sharper, and more like yourself. Memory is not just about remembering where you put your car keys. It is about remembering exactly who you are, the people you love, and the beautiful life you have built. That is always worth fighting for, and it is always worth protecting. As always, please remember to consult your doctor before making any major changes to your nightly routine, and always listen to your body. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end. The fact that you spent this time learning about your brain health means you are already miles ahead of the curve. If this video gave you hope or provided a new tool you hadn't thought of before, I invite you to hit the like button and share it with a friend or loved one who might need to hear this message. Please leave a comment below, even if it is just one sentence, telling me which of these 3 fruits you're going to try tonight. If this kind of honest, straightforward health content speaks to you, I would love to have you as a part of our growing community. Subscribe to Senior Health Compass and stay tuned. We are just getting started. Your brain still has so much life ahead of it. You just need to give it a chance to show you.